A mother is a big word. Being a mother to me is not a person who just conceived and gave birth. Motherhood instincts is given to every woman. The moment you are born, you have that instinct. That is why you see a small girl seeing a baby crying, and then she will make an attempt to breastfeed that baby. Or you see a baby, small baby as 2 years, having a toy baby, and then they will be practicing breastfeeding. So motherhood instincts, to me, is something that was given by God to every woman. Before becoming a mother, I sleep anyhow. In fact, my sleeping pattern, I cross, if I have a double bed, I cross in between the bed. I don't mind who is sleeping by me. That is how I feel like sleeping. But the moment I had a son, I had a child, I made sure that my sleeping position was constantly at one point so that I may not become the woman in the Bible, sleep on my child and probably try to exchange my dead one with another person's child. Motherhood looks very smooth in the surface, but when you enter into it, it looks very difficult. It's just like an exams. When you think you have studied enough, you can never be sure with any paper. The moment you enter the exams room, you realize that even the ones that you have learned, answering a question becomes very difficult. You have to think and then analyze and see how you possibly answer that question right. So entering into a motherhood changed me, gave me an insight, made me alert, because I probably could see my son becoming ill in 3 days before he comes. The illness itself comes. The part of myself I discovered before I became a mother was I was raised by my grandmother, and there are some simple things we took. We didn't get it as easy as it's supposed to be. But when I became a mother, I was given more than. And then I realized that sometimes becoming a mother makes you too soft when you don't even know. Upon all your hardness and everything you think you know, or the strictness you want to teach your children, you discover that you become a softer person than before. Because I can tell my son, you have faulted me today, you won't eat. When he goes to bed, I am the same person who will go into the room and call him, please come and eat. So I discovered that even though I can be hard on my colleagues or siblings, when it comes to motherhood, I am that soft person. How I show love to my children, I am that kind of a tough love giver. I don't let them get everything on the silver platter. You work, you finish your assignments, and then you get what you want. Is there a way I wish I could love my children better? No. I think I've given everything that is in me, and they understand it and they value it. I share that kind of bond. My children are my friends. My children knows most of my deepest secrets than even my husband, if I should say. Because there are some things we speak about. I rather let my children know my weakness than taking it outside. So when it comes to bond, I bond very well with my children. And they also understand that bond that as it stands, my son can tell me everything, including getting a girlfriend if he should get one. Let me tell you one funny story. There was a day that there was nothing in the house. I had to go to the next street, and then I bought everything that I have to buy. When it got to the time of payment, I touched my pocket. I told the woman, oh, I've forgotten my wallet, my purse. He said, oh, madam, you into the corner. I paid that money in 1 week. My children came home to a very hot meal, not knowing how and what I did to put them food on the table. So there are many, but such a little sacrifices that mothers give to their children without knowing. And in another way, they will even come and tell you that, today food, I didn't even want to eat yam, I wanted rice. They didn't know how the yam itself came. The most difficult part of being a mother was when I had my first son, my first child, and he became sick at 2 months, 2 weeks. He had a pneumonia. And as a fresh parent, I and my husband thought it was just a common cough. So we took him to the hospital. They gave us antibiotics and we came home. In the next morning, I realized that he wasn't breathing well. He breathed at least 1 minute or 30 seconds in between every breath. So I called my husband and I said, this is the situation. We took him back to the hospital. And then because we speak English, I and my husband, we mostly speak English. So we're speaking English. And this is far away in Takwa. And because they are experts working in their mines, they were thinking we were either Nigerians or Sierra Leoneans. So as we are speaking the English, one nurse told the other, "Akola we dey on ye. We are young couples. And as a fancy woman that I am, that was the lowest of being a mother. So I thought, because the way the women, they were not even willing to give him medication. They said, because pneumonia, 1 week in this kind of baby, they're unsurviving. And if I've ever prayed in my life, I think it was that day. If I have ever spoken to any entity on this earth, it was that night. That was the most difficult time of becoming a mother. I will never forget that day. Oh, have I ever felt unappreciated? Yes. Children are like that. They take things for granted. Especially when you have gone to Kantamanto, done all the bend down stuff. You come home, you wash it, you iron, you put it down, and they come and they said, they have a little smell of the first thing inside. They said, we don't like one store. So they don't know that you went to Kantamanto at 3 a.m. pretending to be a trader, collecting items with those who are going to sell. You came home, took your time, wash it, iron it so that it will look nice for them. Children mostly take things for granted, but I pray that when they also grow, it should not be a curse, but all the fine things they do to their parents will be reversal to them in a nice way. The most painful aspect of being a mother is when you have an issue with your spouse and your children are there and you don't want them to know. I usually cry under the shower when I'm in that situation, because when you come into the bathroom, there's water all over me, so you will not identify the tears from the shower water. So yes, mothers do cry without their children knowing. Mistake I did as a mother, or mistakes I've done as a mother. I can't think of many, but I think sometimes we should show tough love more often, because some of us mothers think because we didn't go to private schools, because we didn't get things easy, we tend to give things out so easily that our children become entitled instead of being appreciative. If my children were sitting here right now as I'm speaking. What will I ask them or tell them? I'll tell them about things that I did not get it right and how they should go about it. In any way, they should make their own mistakes and correct themselves, but I will guide them through their mistakes.